A big sprint isn't just for between the race tapes, it's for every ride you do. Whether it's a punchy climb, a mid-stage sprint, or power into the finish line, sprinting matters every time you ride. In this video, I'm going to explain how to train it, how to build your sprint, and what most riders do wrong. My name's Ben from the Strength Factory, and for the last decade, I've helped thousands of riders from around the world to be fitter, stronger, more powerful riders. And today, I'm going to give you a simple 3-step process to be a more powerful rider to build your sprint. First of all, let's just clear up exactly what I mean by sprinting your bike, because I think people get this a bit wrong. This is about maximal power, the maximum amount of power you can put into your cranks to accelerate hard and fast, to change speed and to get over trail obstacles. This is not interval training. It is not endurance. It's not about the burn, it's about that maximal output. And that output is made up of 2 parts. It's force, i.e. how much force you can put into the pedals, and velocity, how quickly you can apply that force to the pedals. Those 2 together give you your power and enable you to sprint your bike hard. These are the 3 steps you need to take to build your sprint. Step 1, get strong. Step 2, move fast. Step 3, sprint your bike. And you need to keep watching for step 3, because that is the one that most riders mess up when they try to do sprint training. Step 1 is get strong. A big sprint is built on a foundation of strength. And when you're stronger, it gives you more potential to put more power and force into the pedals. So, how are we going to get strong? Well, it's simple. It's about mastering the basics and starting where you're at. Ideally, you're going to do 2 to 3 strength training sessions per week. If you've got access to a gym, that's great, use that. If not, and you're training at home, you can make a lot of progress just training your body weight, especially if you're new to training. Ideally, you're going to include compound lifts. These are whole body moves, things like squats and deadlifts, for instance, that are going to work your whole body as a system to really contribute to building a strong body that can then put force into your pedals to be more powerful. As well as those big compound moves, you need to work on a single leg as well. So things like a rear foot elevated split squat and step ups are great ways to build strength in your legs. Tie that all together with some upper body work and a strong core, and you are going to be stronger and able to put more force into your pedals, which results in more power. Finally, in terms of reps, when you're starting out, you're going to get stronger even with higher reps, like 8 to 12 reps. It's going to help you to improve. But as you get into your training, as you progress with it, you're going to be able to drop those reps down, lift heavier weights, and ideally be working in the 3 to 6 rep range if strength is your goal. Step 2, move fast. Still off the bike, we're now going to add velocity and faster movement to the strength that we built in step 1. Because remember, power is made up of the force you can put in and also the velocity, how fast you can apply it. So what do I mean by moving fast when we're talking off the bike? So you're in the gym or training at home, and basically we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to get lighter weights and move fast, because you can move faster than if you've got a heavier weight, obviously. And we can use body weight exercises, things like jumping, box jumps, counter movement jumps, and things like that. And what we want to try and do is move at different speeds. And so obviously if you jump with a weight in your hands, you don't jump as fast as if you jump without a weight in your hands. And so by hitting different velocities in your training, but still doing your best to move as fast as possible, we're then training that speed, that power in the gym off the bike that then transfers directly to the sprint on the bike. Now, the way I want you to think about this is, think of this sort of power to speed training as a skill, okay? So again, don't think of it as a conditioning workout where you're doing CrossFit and you're doing 50 box jumps in a row. That doesn't make you more powerful. That doesn't help you to move faster. That helps you to resist fatigue, and it gets you really tired and makes your legs ache. That is not the goal here. What we're looking for are high quality, low reps. So you might only do 4 to 6 jumps, okay, with a long rest in between to recover, so that you then do another 4 to 6 jumps of the highest speed and the highest quality possible. When you cut down the rest, which is where loads of people go wrong, the quality and the speed of the jumps goes down, and you get a smaller training adaptation. Because remember, the goal here is to move as fast as possible, to get as strong as possible, so you can sprint as fast as possible with the highest number of watts on your bike. If you're not getting faster on the bike, especially when it comes to sprinting, it's probably not because you're lazy or unfit. It's usually because you're missing a plan, structure, and the progression that works to become a more powerful mountain biker. And that is where the Complete Mountain Bike Program and the Complete Downhill Program come in. They include everything you need to be a more powerful rider. Whether it's downhill racing, enduro racing, or just trail riding on the weekends, you could be more powerful by using this training approach, because they include the strength training that I talked about, the power training I talked about, as well as the on-bike work that I'm about to talk about. So if you would like to be a more powerful, fitter and stronger rider, then check the link in the description below, and you can use the discount code SPRINT20 to save 20% on a training program, so you can get started today. And if you don't get faster, if you don't feel the benefits when you ride, there's a 100% money back guarantee, so you join risk-free. Step 3, sprint your bike. Because if you want to be powerful, then you've got to sprint your bike. It's as simple as that. And you can do it indoors on a static bike, or you can do it outdoors on a fire road, or even on tarmac if you prefer. Now, the best way to do this is I'm just going to take you through an example sprint session that I would use for a beginner to intermediate rider who wants to be more powerful on the trails. We're going to start off with a warm-up, and that's going to be a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes easy spinning, just to get your body warm, get the heart rate up and get you ready to do some work. If you've been sitting all day as well, then I would suggest doing a little mobility. You could do that before the bike or after that initial spin. Either way works. We're then going to do some warm-up sprints, and these are sub-maximal. So let's say we can do 3 sprints of 3 to 5 seconds each, and they're going to be at 70, 80 and 90% effort. Okay, so we're not quite going 100% yet, we're just building it up, and we're going to take 3 minutes in between each of those, where you're just going to easy spin, stay light, stay nice and relaxed before the main work, which is just coming up. Now for the main sprint session, where you're going to do 4 to 6 reps of 6-second max effort sprints. And when I say max effort, it needs to be 10 out of 10. It needs to be like you're being chased by a tiger, full crank benders, fully committed, nothing less will do. Because if you don't expose your body to max effort and max power, then it won't adapt to these sessions properly. So they've got to be full gas. And you may think 5 or 6 seconds and only 5 reps, that isn't very much. But actually, if you are truly giving 100%, then that is enough work to make an adaptation in your body to get more powerful. Now, in order to keep the quality of those sprints high, you need long rests in between, so that each sprint you are fully recovered for. So I want you to take 5 minutes in between each one. And again, this is one of the things that people do wrong all the time, is they get bored or think, oh, I feel fine, and they go again after 2 minutes or 3 minutes and think you're being hardcore, beast mode, because you're reducing the rest. All you're doing is diminishing the returns of your session, because your sprints are going to get slower and slower because you don't have full recovery. You need the full 5 minutes recovery if you want the sprints to be good quality, and that is the name of the game. If you're sprinting outside, then you need to find a safe location to do it. I think a fire road that's flat or slightly uphill is best. If you are doing it on the roads, then just look where you're going, don't crash into a parked car. If you're going to train indoors, then I'm sorry, but I know that your turbo trainer says you can sprint on it, but you can't put down a full max effort sprint on any turbo trainer I've ever seen. You need a sturdy indoor bike like a watt bike, which may mean you have to go to the gym to do this instead. Finally, we're going to do a cool down. So take 10 to 15 minutes, easy spin at the end of the sprint session, just to help you relax and start the recovery process. A final reminder then on that on the bike sprint training, because this is a bit everyone messes up. The goal is not the burn. The goal is the highest watts, the highest sprint output that you can do again and again and again. People will say, oh, but in a race you do lots of sprints with incomplete recovery. I know, we're not training that yet. First of all, you build a big sprint, which is what I'm talking about, and then you train the ability to repeat it or to do it for longer. If you start cutting it down and doing interval training, because this is not interval training, if you start doing that now, then all you're doing is learning to repeat a crap sprint with low power. Okay, get powerful first, then as part of a plan, a progression, you then learn to repeat that power. Okay, and this is what everyone gets wrong, and this is why I'm making this video. Point made. Ideally, you're going to do this sprint work once or twice a week, okay, alongside the strength and power training I talked about. And then after 4, 6, maybe 8 weeks, you're really going to start to feel the difference every time you ride. And once you've made some progress, yes, then you can learn to repeat it. And then you can start including more advanced sprints like over-geared sprints or rolling starts and things that are more race specific. And all of these are covered in my online training programs as part of a progressive plan over the year. So there you go. Step 1, get strong. Step 2, move fast. Step 3, sprint your bike. If you've got any questions about anything I've said, make sure you leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to check out the training programs. The links are in the description. And if you use the code SPRINT20, you can save 20% on your first month's training.